So this is Nintendo's press conference event, but they decided to go with the digital event, which is basically the press conference equivalent.
Mr. Iwata? Mr. Iwata? Oh, wow. Yes, we're ready to start filming the Nintendo digital event for E3 2015.
Okay, thank you. I will head directly to the stage.
So basically how they introduce each segment or video, they have like a puppet like skit in between.
Reggie, are you ready for the digital event?
Nintendo 62, Nintendo 63, Nintendo 64. My puppet body is ready.
I find that kind of fun.
I'm here.
Mr. Miyamoto?
Oh, yes.
Okay, ready whenever you are,
So like the
gentlemen.
first game they introduce
have
is
to remember
Star
my
Fox.
Entering Corneria's orbit.
When I see the gameplay, I see a really missed opportunity. Don't get me wrong, like, the gameplay looks pretty good. Like there's nothing wrong with like an on-rails shooter. That's what it looks like anyways. I'm not sure if it is. But and like the transformation from the like in air to on like foot or land, it looks kind of funny. I don't know, it looks kind of like a bird walking, but that's just me not liking the look. And they could have had like something like Transformers, especially since Transformers was a big franchise in the theaters, and they had 3 movies. I think 3 movies, maybe 4, I'm not sure. They could have easily taken something from that.
Let's take the offensive.
But it looks too funny. It doesn't look like it transformed. It just looks like, I don't
Do
know.
a barrel roll.
And the reason why I say it's a missed opportunity, because since like it's on the Wii U, it's capable of doing more. So it could be like more of an adventure. I don't mean like adventure like in the sense of a adventure video game genre, but like do a little bit more than just having the vehicle fights. And they do a little bit more by having the vehicle change, like transform. But it would have been nice to have the vehicle coming out of the vehicle more, if you come out at all, and then have gameplay like that. So the thing about their videos,
I live right
they
by
tend to
the Fushimi
explain
Inari Shrine.
why
I've
they
had a
do certain
relation with this
things
shrine since I
a
was
little
a
bit,
child.
and they explain the gameplay.
Because of that,
This
I
is
felt
something
that I was
that
always
most
protected,
developers should
as
be
if it's
doing,
my guardian
even if it's a
angel.
live demonstration.
When I was a
I
child,
find that
there was a TV show
I'm not
about
sure if they're
fighter planes
nervous
called
or what,
Thunderbirds.
but they tend to, when
That
they explain their
inspired me to
games,
make a game that had
they don't
cinematic
sometimes
elements,
explain it too well,
with each
or
character having a distinct personality.
they don't explain
and
what's
their own
going
drama.
on, or
That would be
something,
reflected in the dialogue and appear in
and you're
scenes
just basically
like where
just
a cool
watching them
character
play,
and enemies would appear.
which is not bad, don't get me wrong,
I'm here for a job of
but
course, and
And looks like I get to have a
Yeah, like they could have explained a little bit better. And I
When it
find
came to talking
Nintendo
about
tends to
details
explain
regarding
things to
how
a
to
T.
make the main characters look and
But then
feel,
again,
we talked about all sorts of
tend to
types of
they
people.
have
But ever since I was in school,
scripted
I drew
video
comics with
as their press
caricaturized
conference.
humanoid animals, and decided that the characters in this game should be based off animals. I then
So they
talked about
explain
it
how
with
why
Imamura-san, the
these
designer. And we thought about
animals
the
and stuff
fox
like that,
image.
which is
then
pretty
I thought
cool.
gyro, and it's 4 buttons left. And with that, we thought, why not? You can also play different
see how you
stages
can
with
use
other
the-
vehicles too.
The default
So I
control
hope you'll have
pad,
fun
the
trying
Wii
out
U,
courses with different
it
vehicles,
has a different
even
view
after you clear
out
the
of
game.
it's from the cockpit, which is pretty good. It's creative.
We've
But,
rebuilt the game using ideas
I
from
would
the
just say
past,
right now, like
but
most
it's
of the
not a
games
part
here
4
aren't
or
for
part
me.
5. It's not a
But they're
remake either.
they're
So we
presented
named
how
it
they're
Star
presented.
Fox Zero
They're
this time.
designed like they're presented in a perfect way, and they explain things. Sometimes
The
they explain
subtitle
two things
Zero was
too
taken
long,
from
like this
how
game.
the kanji character
I think
looks
it was
in
a little bit too
calligraphy.
long.
Star Fox is based off of the Japanese.
Recently, Mr. Iwata has made several announcements on how Nintendo itself is being transformed, with expansion to Universal theme parks, mobile devices, and our new dedicated game platform, codenamed NX, which we'll tell you more about in 2016. Today, our purpose is more immediate, to focus on the transformations you'll be enjoying right inside your Nintendo gameplay in the coming months. If there's a secret to the longevity of Nintendo franchises, it is transformation. We never let them stand still.
And I
There
beg to
always
differ
has to be something new,
because
something compelling. And that even
like for example, many of the Nintendo franchises are not connected with the story. So don't get me wrong, like it doesn't really hurt gameplay, but it creates a certain development. Like you don't really know Mario's personality. You might know Mario's personality in a single game, but there's no continuation. When you have a continuation, you have voiceover, and it's not a silent protagonist. You start to develop a character. Whether the character is likable or not, you develop a character. And I find that a lot of gamers, they automatically hate a character when it's most likely designed for the player or viewer not to like, and they don't realize that, and then they start wailing on the character because it's not likable. And sometimes that's the purpose of it. The character is not supposed to be likable, or they do things that not always likable. And that's something that I find that when it comes to like critics, they should be aware of that. And I find not all of them are. So a lot of developers play it safe and have a protagonist that's likable, so they don't get too caught up in the story. Because if you get caught up in the story and the character is not supposed to be likable and you don't like that character and it feels like the character is not faking it, then they actually created a good character. But then sometimes they can create a character so good that the gamer or viewer itself will just take it too personal. But yeah, enough with that. But I find the games are at a standstill because they don't connect. Like if they connected a story and had, it doesn't matter what age group, if you connected a story, had voiceover, not only would that enhance the gameplay a lot because you're adding more contact, you're developing character, and you're going to see personalities. Like having each game independent is not exactly a good thing, because that means they don't have to have the previous game to follow up with the next game. And sometimes, and that's what I would say a lot of core gamers are like into. Like for me, like I wouldn't say all of them are into it, but a lot of the popular franchises on other platforms is because they have a connection.
Super Mario Brothers.
And this one
which is
does not have
celebrating
that
its
connection.
30th anniversary
Like Halo
in 2015.
has a connection.
To say he's been transformed over the years is obvious. But along the way, he's also transformed gaming, from establishing the platforming genre on the NES to the 3D world of Super Mario 64.
But he still doesn't talk.
Later this year, Super Mario Maker will take the next step by turning the essence of game creation over to you, our fans. Now, players will become creators as you build your own
I find the
Mario
game
levels
creation thing,
that can be shared globally.
I think
with
because
friends.
Little Big Planet is
And who
becoming a little
knows,
bit overboard.
Maybe even I'll
Like the
be
Dreams
playing,
thing for
and
the
of course
on the
beating
Sony press
your
conference.
latest creation.
It looks like it's just a video,
Nothing in our history has transformed our
but at least this
franchises
one is
quite
more
like
about actual
Amiibo.
gameplay.
And as you'll find out this week, there
But
are more
it's a
new
2D
Amiibo on
Mario.
the way, and more
Like a
games for them
2D
to inhabit.
scroller, side scroller.
In fact,
It's not a
right
3D
now,
thing.
let's see how Amiibo are about to show up in a totally unexpected way.
Expected guest stars. So introducing
So
turbocharged
these are
Donkey
introducing
Kong
new amiibos.
and his
Again, this is what
vehicle, the
I
Barrel
think it's called the
Blaster.
NFC area on the D-pad, just below the
We
left
also have Bowser. This is Hammer
directional
Slam
stick,
Bowser.
directional
And his
pad.
vehicle, the Clown Cruiser.
The Wii U
Bowser's
controller
always my
can
favorite. I
send
don't know
and
why people say
receive
that I look like Bowser.
data
at
to
times act
real-world
like Bowser.
objects. So that would be a real-world object
As you're
that
playing
is
as these
specifically
figures, as you
made
have
to
the
transfer
various
data from the
vehicles,
controller
what
and to and from
So
the
they have
controller.
complete move sets and upgrade trees of powers and abilities, some of which are natural.
And
things that
honestly,
you'd
I never
expect,
actually
like
played a
Donkey Kong
Skylander
throwing
game,
barrels
but I'm
and
surprised of how
Bowser
good the
slamming down
graphics
his
are.
hammer. But also really unexpected moves.
I guess it goes to
that
show you
harken
how
back to elements of lore within
the game industry
30
has
years of history of these
advanced so
characters.
much that now games like this can
What else
actually
can,
look pretty
can
good.
these figures
Because
do?
before, like,
Put the figure on
3D
a Skylander's portal.
3D
they act
platformers
as a
were always
Skylander, but you
cartoony,
can twist the base and
and they
switch
tend
it to
to always
amiibo,
not
and it
have
can
the
be
best
used as an
graphics.
amiibo in
So-
another. And they said use drive.
They were displaying that the amiibos. And also the characters. And here now Mario turned into Link. I mean Zelda. Now they're gonna explain why that happens later on, and it's due to the amiibo. And I think it's the power up they obtained. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, it allows the character you're controlling to control their appearance to other Nintendo characters, I'm assuming, or games on the Nintendo systems. I'm assuming it would be exclusive characters and wouldn't be third parties, so. Like the Sony press conference, they did miss out. They don't really. They did have PlayStation Vita games.
Hello, I'm Aonuma,
But I don't
the
think it was
producer of
from
Zelda.
them.
Today, I would like to talk about
And
The
that's
Legend
terrible.
of Zelda: Triforce
That you,
Heroes, the latest Nintendo 3DS
that you don't really
Zelda
support
game. I
the
have the game's
handheld
director, Shikata,
yourself.
here to introduce
And
it
this
with
is
me.
a perfect
Hello.
example of a company
wanted to focus
supporting
on multiplayer
what they're
and
bringing
co-op.
out, like supporting the
Multiplayer
products
in past
themselves.
Zelda games was more competitive, much
But,
like a party game. Everyone would
it's
gather to play to
mainly
see
only
who
them.
would get the most rupees.
That's
This
the
time,
biggest
I
strength
wanted
and
players to
weakness.
cooperatively enjoy more serious Legend of Zelda.
Reach
So
higher
this
places.
is explaining the
Players
gameplay.
are each claiming to be the hero.
Something that I think other developers should do at other press conferences.
We frequently hear Mr.
We're now developing a 3DS version.
And here's the
This game is a
Hyrule
reimagining of the
Warriors
Wii U
thing.
game. It will include
That was the
all
3DS
the DLC
version.
characters.
And when I
from
see
that
the
one.
3DS, I'm like, the PlayStation Vita is a better platform. But I'll explain
We're also adding
why I
additional
think
characters and
it's not
stages
selling,
from
and
The
it's
Legend
not.
of
I would
Zelda,
say
The
right now
Wind
it's not
Waker,
due to the
expand
graphics.
the gameplay.
Because to me, having like people say it's console-like graphics, and to me that's
Hyrule
kind of
Warriors is
odd
not like the
because
Zelda games I create.
console
It
graphics
is
is
an
basically
experience only Koei Tecmo
what
can
PC
really
graphics
bring to
used to
life.
be. So it's just kind of weird because it's always going to be
I hope
graphics
you
is
will
always going to
enjoy
be
Hyrule
a console
Warriors
graphics
Legends,
to a point,
as well
especially
as
with
The Legend of
handheld.
Zelda
And handheld will never
Triforce
really
Heroes
surpass
on
console
Nintendo
graphics currently,
3DS.
but can sort of match it. And console games will never really match PC graphics. it can sort of match it depending on what kind of game it is and if it's a multi-platform game. But overall, PC is ahead, consoles are behind PCs, and handhelds are behind consoles. Even though they can look like they're on par with each other, in reality, that's what it is. But here's a trailer showing off the characters and gameplay. And again, these are... I don't think there's a single CGI game, CGI footage. They might start off with CGI, but yeah. And then this game here, Metroid Prime, what is it called? Well, this is Blast Ball, but there's something else. Metroid Prime Federation Blast or something? Federation Force? To me, when I see this, it screams PlayStation Vita. But, yeah, Federation Force. And then the other one was Blast Ball. Okay. Okay, that's the end. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Yeah, so that was it. I'm not sure if Blast Ball was actually a separate game or... I think it was maybe part of the same game. It must have been like a mode or something. Also including Metroid Prime Blast Ball. Okay, so it's a different game. So it's like a sports game. But it's contained within the package, I'm assuming. So since it includes it. Basically all the games are exclusive. That looks like Void maybe? I don't know. I stopped playing Nintendo games for a while. I missed the Wii generation. And I'm only catching up with the Wii U because it has HD graphics. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I would just leave them behind. So this is Fire Emblem, I'm assuming for the Wii U. Because the graphics look a lot higher. But then again, it looks like CG. Actually, it looks like cell shaded. So, like animation. Oh, and it's actually the 3DS. That's too funny. It's a little bit disappointing sometimes when I see it's for the 3DS and not for the Wii U.
For your betrayal.
Don't look at me.
See, to me, the Wii U probably could produce that kind of graphics while playing.
The sentence is death.
And when you see the jump going down, to me, it's not that graphics are really important to me, but graphics help me.
Kill me if you want.
It helps with the illusion.
Do it as yourself.
It's kind of hard to explain, but I'm more into films, and when I watch a film, like a movie, and I see something that's jarring, it's not in place, it kind of takes me out. And I take the same concept to video games. If it's just too low graphics, and the aesthetics aren't up to par where the graphics don't matter too much, then yeah, that's fine. But then if it's just raw graphics like that and it jumps down and you see something that's so much better and that can be achieved on the platform that they have right now and they don't do it, it's a little upsetting. The graphics here look like it could be the 3DS too, but I wouldn't be surprised if I was wrong again.
今の翼の歌声ならきっと届く。だから歌うんだ翼。行こう。我が友いつきよ。
オリベ翼、17歳です。心を込めて歌います。
Right now, I'd say Nintendo's behind the times.
翼の本気を見せてあげて。
The press conference so far is pretty good. But what I don't understand is this is an English press conference, I'm assuming, since the skits are in English. I would assume a pre-rendered video, but like a video compiled before this video put together in collaboration would be in English. This is just a little weird to me that it's not in English and it's directed to North America. I guess this is Fire Emblem. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm not really a big fan. And they were talking about they wanted to talk about current initiatives or projects, and that game's coming out 2016. So they told us, I think earlier, I'm gonna go back after about the NX. Oh, we don't want to talk about the NX because I think it's here, so I'm gonna go back 2807. They want to go talk about the NX because we'll talk about later on in 2016. We want to talk about current initiatives.
I'm Reggie Fils-Aimé, president of Nintendo.
And they just told us about a game coming out
having
2016.
a little fun imagining ourselves as characters in the Star Fox universe. But that opening was more than just fun. It also represents a theme you're going to encounter consistently throughout Nintendo's experience for E3. That theme is transformation. Recently, Mr. Iwata has made several announcements on how Nintendo itself is being transformed, with expansion to Universal theme parks, mobile devices, and our new dedicated game platform, codenamed NX, which we'll tell you more about in 2016.
New dedicated.
Today, our purpose is more immediate, to focus on the transformations you'll be enjoying right inside your Nintendo gameplay in the coming months.
And they just said the game's releasing in 2016. I think because they were a big hit with what's it called, Robot Chicken. Now they're going off with that. Honestly, it's entertaining, but I think with this iteration, because it's not backed up by a show, it would have been nice maybe take it from a video game, since they're not really showing the live actors. Maybe taking a concept from a video game, like an anime, something. Why go back with the puppets again? Because the puppets, I thought, was just there because of the show, but now they're just playing off with it again. So this game was pretty cool. See, this is an RPG. You see, that's an RPG. I'll explain why in the video dedicated to what an RPG is, but that's an RPG. This is more of an RPG than Fallout is. At least Fallout 3 and 4 from what I've seen. 3 for sure, 4 for what I've seen, and I haven't played the first 2 games. But what I just saw there was RPG gameplay. It's Xenoblade. I'm not really a fan. I have no idea what Xenoblade's even about, to tell you the truth. So see, like the drop, because I'm more, I guess because I'm more of a, I'm more into Sony now, and when I see the drop, it kind of deters me, because I think I have the PlayStation. I mean, the Pokemon, the new Pokemon game, the latest one, not the remastered one that was released to the 3DS, but there was another one before that, the actual new game. I have it, and I haven't gotten really into it because of the graphics. I would say a little bit because of the graphics, but yeah, I guess because the game also hasn't really changed. So yeah, that's this game. Animal Crossing. Happy Home Design. So that's the NFC area. I guess you can use your amiibos now. I do think video game board games are better than a live action board game, because then you can play with yourself or people online. I have no idea what that is. Sorry, I have lost touch with Nintendo for a while. Like, maybe the last Nintendo console I purchased was Nintendo GameCube, and before that, I think it was a 64. So it wasn't too bad. I was more of a fan when it was on Super Nintendo, when the Super Nintendo came out, and then Nintendo came out, NES and the Super NES. Besides that, I wasn't really that dedicated anymore. I got the GameCube because certain games came out on it, like the horror game. I forgot what it's called, but it has insanity effects. I heard great things about it, and that was a Wii U game. Oh, okay, the board game was the Wii U game, okay. I thought the actual Animal Happy Home design was the Wii U game, because that looked pretty bad. I got sidetracked, but yeah, there's this game called I forgot the game, but it had insanity effects. I heard great things about it, so I purchased that for a couple of Resident Evil games and that game too, and I got a couple of Mario games. So it's a mushroom with a question mark. And I find not all the animations are that smooth. Like, here he's moving. When I saw an animation before where there's like stationary and they're still moving. That to me draws me out. Again, it's not like you have to have top graphics, but animation is key for me. Animation for every action in the game helps. And I find PC does that a lot sometimes. Like something will be floating in front of the character because the mouse is holding it, not the character.
And I was in charge of design.
Here they're explaining how they came to with the Yoshi yarn or something. Well, this design of the game using yarn and fabric.
At the same time, he has the
So
perspectives
this is creative. It's not really animation. I would call this hyper realism. So they use, because it looks realistic, in the sense that they're using fabric, not realistic in the sense of being true to reality.
I'm not a programmer or an artist.
But then also having
wasn't able to
an
make
animation realism on top. So that's why I call it hyper realism.
Really working hard.
Because it's like almost realistic, but in an animated way.
Is there anything that I can do in some way to help this tab? Because it turns into like a propeller when you jump. Platforms can just Mario pattern in Mario design. so if you have an amiibo at home,
so now the
you
amiibos
can have fun
changes the
trying out
character.
different characters, playing the same level over and over again. Most of all, I want people to feel happy.
This press conference thing is gonna go off, be done fairly quick. When I see animation like that, it just blows my mind when it jumps down. I think I'm starting to realize why I'm not too much of a fan of Nintendo. Look at that. I don't know.
Summoning Charming!
So it's similar to Pokemon, looks like. There's the two screens. Again, an RPG. I find the Eastern developers know their genres a little bit more than the Western. So, yeah. there's not much Wii U games, it looks like. Honestly, I didn't even count. This one looks like it's mixing two worlds. The Paper Mario world with I guess, what's it called? Mario RPG. Is this the same game? Paper Gem. 2016. Oh my god, I'm assuming this is gonna be the Wii U game. So to get a rehashed sports title. I'm not against sports titles because I know the importance of sports titles to people, certain gamers. But I'm not a sports fan on a personal level. It doesn't intrigue me. But at least it's like hyper realism. I don't know. Highly animated. I don't know. But they have like the power hits and stuff, which is cool. So it adds more.
We've been working together for 30 years now. If there's 3 ideas presented to both of us, one.
So they're talking about the Mario
went on,
creating
We
game.
realized we could
to these sheets of graph paper.
I find that it's nice to explain things,
We
but
then
sometimes
hand
they
our
explain
drawings to
things
the
in
programmers
too much
who
detail.
would code them into a build. While digging who would code them
You're
into
kind
a
of like
build.
the person that you ask one
While digging
question,
up these old documents, we
and
found
just keep
this.
talking and talking and talking.
It's very precious.
In the old days,
'Cause
when we
they
needed
first
to
start out
fix or
interesting,
change part of the course,
and then
it would
you
get
keep
really
going
messy if we
and
tried
going.
to.
You can combine various elements from the different games to
See
create
what they had for
entirely new
breakfast,
stuff,
to how they sleep.
like stacking different enemies on top of each other to make a huge tower, and then putting a
This is
bullet
nice
bill
that they're
on top.
showing what you can possibly do, but they don't show it in a creative way. So they're not like a
Put
medium
things we've
molecule,
never placed underwater.
basically.
Appearance
They don't
of other
master their own
characters.
design. That's what it looks like, anyways.
I start by making a chord in 1. It's always like that. You grow big.
Because they can't make the jump. But they learn from it. They usually fall into it because they can't make it.
It's like game design training software.
Given you a sneak peek of some of our games coming later in 2015, there's still much more to share. Next, Nintendo Treehouse Live at E3 begins.
But I think it's ridiculous
We'll
that they
kick
have
off with
another
Mr. Miyamoto
dedicated
and fellow developers
gaming
flying
hardware.
through Star Fox Zero.
I think it
And
was
if you can't
supposed
wait to get your
to
hands on Super
confirm
Mario Maker, the
that
opportunity
they're
is
not
right
going to
in
go
front of you.
digital.
On Wednesday from 4
But,
p.m. to 9
yeah.
p.m. and
It's just weird to
Saturday
do
from
that.
noon until 5 p.m. local time, you can walk into any of more than 100 Best Buy stores in the U.S. and Canada and experience the game for yourself firsthand. You can find the details of all of our activities this week at e3.nintendo.com. To close, as anyone transforms, be it a person or a company, it's good to reflect on where you've been to help guide where you go next. Over the past 30 years, more than 1 billion people around the world have played a Nintendo game. And most of them have played as gaming's
I
biggest
think
star, Mario.
That's true, but I
From
think
the
they don't
music
realize
to
why
the
that
costumes to the
happened.
characters, Super Mario
I think that's
isn't
why they're so
just
stubborn,
Nintendo's
because they
mascot.
think what they
There's a little piece
they
of
don't
him
really change, and
and
they think
certainly
that's
memories
what
of
it
his
is always
adventures
going to be.
inside
But
all
then
of
they
us.
talk about changing with the time. Right now, social media is popular. Nothing social about the games you just mentioned. And none of the games connect. There's no real story besides the same thing, saving the princess. They still have that same pole at the end. 30 years of rehashing the same gameplay. But every once in a while they do change it, like Zelda. Like Super Mario Sunshine is different. Super Mario 64 is different. Here's some various people playing the theme song. I feel bad with Barangas, whatever you call them. Probably not making much of a difference with the sound, but he's definitely participating. But yeah. What else can I say?
Now it's your turn. Visit letssupermario.com and help us celebrate his 30th anniversary by submitting your
I
own
would say by
Super
design
Mario video.
wise,
And do it for a good cause.
they are.
With Nintendo making a donation to the nonprofit group Operation Smile.
They explain
Visit our
things a
site
lot
for details.
better.
Let's have some fun.
They showed
Let's support a
every
great
game was
cause,
pretty much an
and
exclusive.
let's Super Mario.
I don't think there was a third-party game here, but then that's kind of like the problem, anyways. But considering that that's all they do to keep the system alive, the products alive, is actually pretty impressive. So if I were to grade this, I would say it's an A negative. Because sometimes they go on too long. But even though I gave it an A negative, the highest grading, on a personal level, I'm more into what Sony's doing. But if you just look at how they design the presentations, Nintendo's presentation is the best, then Sony, then Microsoft. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I said what I needed to say. Hopefully I don't have to add too much more like I had to, what I did with the Sony press conference. But yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed that the 3DS is having more support, but I'm guessing because they have a bigger install base. I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't really follow numbers, but I just sometimes go on YouTube and they always talk about numbers, so I go by whatever YouTuber I'm watching at that moment, and I roughly get like a numbers. I sort of basically get rough numbers from YouTubers. I don't actually search up myself. So from my understanding, from what they are saying, YouTubers, 3DS has a bigger install base than the Wii U, even though the Wii U has been out longer out of the three major consoles on home consoles, because the Ouya and all those consoles came out but didn't really sell well. So yeah, I think that's about it. That's the Nintendo E3 2015 press conference, which is now a digital event. A digital event. So yeah, this is TX3 signing out.